Hello everyone, welcome to the second episode of Woxsen Leaders Studio. And in this episode, I'll have a quick interaction with one of my friends who has had a very influential career, and not just in the corporate, but also in being with the youth community. He's someone who has spent good amount of time at one of the top MNC organizations in India, where they are the largest global providers of elevators and escalators. Today, I am very privileged to host Mr. Ashok Ramachandran, the CEO and President India for Schindler. And Ashok was here at Woxsen University for a business talk session with the MBA students, and the session was well received by all the students and faculties. That session was not enough, and that's why we are here to give you a glimpse of how Ashok's journey looks like. And I'm very happy to introduce you to Ashok now. Hi Ashok.
Hi Chahat, thank you so much for this session as well. I had a wonderful morning interacting with our students and just loving to see the energy and the vibe, and the campus seems to be absolutely outstanding. So thanks for inviting me, and I'm looking forward to this chat.
Great, good to know that, Ashok. And first of all, thank you so much for accepting our invitation. It's, I think, a dream come true for many students who have been, seeing your journey on social media and hearing from the news as well. You're into fashion fitness as well, and all of us look up to you. So my first question for you, Ashok, as part of Woxsen Leaders Studio, is how does the journey of being a CEO of an MNC looks like? Because you are leading a giant organization from India. So, and I'm sure that you've spent a great amount of your career, that is 15 years, so to say, in Schindler itself. So how does that journey looks like?
So first of all, it's a very fulfilling journey. I don't think, a lot of people ask me, did you ever dream or you had an aim to be a CEO? It was never like that. It was always for me about taking one step at a time and doing it so well that automatically the next step happens. So right from my childhood in India, being a below average student, to then finding my niche in people, my love for, I call it leadership with love, getting into battling the whole society's phobia of not going into top colleges and getting high scores, and then convincing parents to send me overseas, getting out of my comfort zone at every point of time was something that I always followed. So the journey was successful because I was challenging the norm, I was taking risks, and I was always competing with myself, not with anyone else, but only with myself. And at every opportunity that I took, my goal was, how do I do this role so well that people should say this is the benchmark to do a job? And that's how I think I look at the journey. I look at the journey as a journey. I don't look at it as a destination. I don't think just because I'm a CEO, I'm successful. I think I would say, call myself successful when I've created a lot of leaders around the country, around the world, who will go on to achieve success in their careers, in their personal lives, who will go on to change other people's lives as well. So that's how I describe it.
That's really remarkable to hear from you, Ashok, and it's true. It's really inspirational when I look at your career, which is just not involved in being in the corporate, but you are someone who has been known in the youth community, being with people, and I've seen from your life perspective that early on in your career you've had a lot of failures as well, and I'm sure you've had major learnings from them. So if you would like to share a couple of your failures and your major learnings from them so that we can share it with the world today.
Sure. So most important, I don't call it failure, but of course the world calls it a failure, which is academic failure. I don't think I was an academically strong student right from my school and college days. That was predominantly the main failure per se. But what I've learned, Chahat, is a trick. The trick is fail fast. What does it mean? What does it mean is every time you fail, you can worry about it, you can feel sad, you can feel upset, but just jump on to the next thing immediately. Don't sit on it forever. A lot of people, when they fail, they think the world has come to an end, and then they, think about some drastic actions like suicide and stuff. I don't even propagate that. I mean, I even say that, even if you want to feel bad about it, just do it for a day or two, but immediately work on the next action. So that's what has really been the biggest learning for me, is the quicker you fail, the sooner you're coming to a success. And how quickly you jump from that failure to the next topic, you're going to succeed. It's just a matter of time. You may not be good at everything, but you will find out what you're good at if you try multiple things. So that's been my mantra for success after multiple failures.
And that's quite a, I would say a lesson for everyone, because I think who better than you, who have elevated himself from the bottom to the top and now working at a leading elevators and escalators company, right? So I'm sure you've had several challenges while pursuing your success, right? Being to the top is not easy, and being a leader is a lonely journey, right? So what are the challenges that you have had in your life when you were chasing success, or was it success happened to you?
So first of all, I never chased success. I was chasing excellence in what I was doing. The challenges mostly was more related to my age and experience. So every role I was getting, I was very young, and everybody was challenging that, whether this person is experienced enough, is he old enough, is he mature enough, because I still had a very raw bravado and risk-taking ability. I was always challenging the norm, which can be seen as immaturity as well, but can be seen as somebody who can take things to the next level. That was the main challenge I always faced, and I think I was kind of, mental maturity was above my age always. So I think people always trusted me with bigger opportunities and stuff, and I made sure that my age doesn't become a problem in me progressing in my career. People questioned whether I can lead large organizations, even when I got the opportunity in India, because in the previous stint I was responsible for 1,000 employees, and then it became India, which was 5,000 plus employees, and it was a huge organization. I think that was the biggest challenge, and the only way you can answer them is by doing well. Not by telling them that you will do well, but by actually doing well. So action speaks louder than words, and you walk the talk. And I always made sure that I formed a very strong management team, which is the best insurance policy for a CEO. And that's what has always helped me to overcome my challenges and just keep going.
Yeah, I think some of the best takeaways from the statements that you've made right now on the show is you need to be having a great team along with you. Without a good team, I think it becomes very difficult for an individual as from an organizational perspective to lead from the front, because it's because of the team that you prosper in the longer run. So being a CEO, Ashok, are there any CEOs you looked up to and you still look up to? And how have they shaped and molded your life's perspective, and have they changed you as a person?
So the first person who inspired me to take up a leadership role was Jack Welch, who was the ex-CEO of GE. I read a book of his, and it really changed my mind, and I really started thinking about becoming a leader. I was more than CEOs, I was very blessed to have great mentors. My first managing director in Schindler, Fernando Xavier, good mentors I had in Schindler. So first part of the year, 10 years, was all about good managers and good leaders within the organization who challenged me, who gave me bigger opportunities, who pushed me to the corner, who said I can do it. I think I look up to them. Till date, my first CEO in Australia is my mentor. He's retired, he's 70 plus, but he still mentors me like I'm his son. And I'm totally blessed, with such kind of people. But I don't necessarily, of course, there are a lot of external people who I admire. I don't necessarily copy them or follow them, but I'm always learning from everyone around me. I have a habit of interacting with a lot of CEOs regularly, even today. I learn from them best practices, and I come and see how can I implement those best practices within the organization as well.
That's great. And Ashok, I was having a quick interaction with you before the business talk session when you came to Woxsen today. I understand that you wanted to become a singer, right? And you're someone who loved singing throughout his early age. So, but you went on to pursue your dream in Schindler, becoming a corporate tycoon. Why did you not pursue singing professionally? Because you're someone who's always been a singer from his heart.
Sure. I think I realized that I was good but not great. When you are taking art as a passion and as a career, you have to be really, really good. You can't be just good. And I realized it very early in life, thank God. I did not do that whole, let me go to Mumbai, try my, luck in Bollywood kind of thing. I still sing. I sing informally in family functions, when I get together with friends. I perform, in small stages. I've done Instagram sessions, with Madhushree, for example, a Bollywood singer. So it's not like I've forgotten the passion completely. I keep it alive in my own way. But I always tell people that, there is a big myth, Chahat. Everybody says that make your passion your career. Yes, if it pays you. Don't just blindly follow. A lot of content creators say that follow your passion, follow your heart. Yeah, but paisa bhi chahiye. You have to put food on the table. So you can't just follow a passion and you're not making any money. Then it's a complete waste of everything. So be clever, be smart about it. You can have a proper full-time job and you can still follow your passion. And that's what I'm doing now.
That's lovely. I think that's a message for the youth today that, people, they chase their passion and then it is the passion that should turn into profession. That's what most of the people think. But sometimes, it's all about the money that you need financially to be independent, right? Ashok, I wanted to know from you that being in the current position, I'm sure there must have been some likings towards something from your personal life and some dislikings as well, which I think you do not want at this stage. But as a leader, you have to have them with you. So 3 likings and 3 dislikings about your current position at Schindler.
What I like is definitely the people interaction. I'm a big people's person. I like the fact that, my job is a chief vision officer more than anything else, is to create the vision. So I like strategy, I like vision, I like interacting with external customers, like colleges as well. So I like that whole bit of how do I take my organization branding as well. I also like the fact that I get to interact and mentor and groom a lot of young talents. So it's mostly people related. Dislikes, I don't call it dislikes, it's just a part of the job. There are certain mundane activities you have to do, like signing files and documentation, paperwork and stuff, which is not something that I really enjoy, but I just have to do it, part of my job. Apart from it, there's nothing that I totally dislike. I think I enjoy 99.9% of my job. I am, my wife thinks I'm mad because even Sundays I'm looking forward to going to work. So I wake up every day thinking, "Arey, aaj kaam pe jana hai," and I'm loving it.
Yeah, I think that's really remarkable when you pointed out your dislikes, because I'm sure there must have been a lot of people who are your fans who would like to know what Ashok Ramachandran does not like. There are many things which you like, which is fitness, which is content creation, and certainly connecting with a lot of youth community, right? So this leads me to my next question, Ashok. How do you manage your time? Being a CEO is not very easy, right? You are someone who is very religiously following gymming, right? You go to the gym, come what may, and then you also make sure that you make time for your family. You give equal amount of time to your employees at Schindler, and you're someone who's into content creation now, big time. So how do you manage that entire time?
So first of all, I'm a big believer in the philosophy that if you like something, you will find time. It's not about I don't have time, it's I don't prioritize. So if anytime, Chahat, next time someone tells me I don't have time, just tell them to tell you that they're not your priority. Simple. Because we are lying, we have time, we don't prioritize. Because if you want to do something, you will find time. Second thing is about time boxing. I boxed events in a specific time. If I'm saying I'm going to spend a day with Woxsen, then that's it. Not more, not less. So you have to box your things and say this is the time I allocate for each task. And third thing is that being effective when you're doing it. Fully focus on it so that you don't have to spend more time later to fix up the problems that you create because you don't spend proper time in the beginning. And and then doing the things that you really love, and most important thing as a last point is to say no. So I tell people, this is not my priority, I'm sorry, I can't give you time, rather than lying to them that I don't have time.
I think that's a message that one needs to prioritize his or her own time, because if you really want something very bad and you want to have it like by all means, you, I'm sure, would be dedicatedly committed to having that particular thing, right? Ashok, we live in a VUCA world, which is very volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, right? Things have been rapidly evolving since the COVID pandemic, right? There have been a lot of external factors, I'm sure, from the organizational perspective that you are, unable to control, right? So how do you manage those entire external forces that impact your organization, right? And you still are in the pursuit of aiming for excellence for Schindler?
So I'm a long-term person, I don't do anything for the short term. We always work on 3 years, 5 years ahead of time, and I've been doing that since my first role. In fact, that's been very, very helpful. I'm always future ready. Whenever we are working on something, we look at what will happen after 3 years, 5 years. So I think that is a trick, to be always looking at the future and being connected to the ground reality. So I spend a lot of time with the ground level staff, 5 levels, 6 levels below me, interacting with them, asking them what is happening. Then you're aware of what is happening, and then external, interacting with customers, economists, business leaders, getting a view of a long term, and putting it all together into your strategic planning.
Yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense when you talk about the organizational factors which impact the entire setup, right? Ashok, what are the areas now that you focus on for your personal growth? I'm sure that I know you for quite some time now, and you are very much into this socializing, right? So which areas do you now more focus on to have a good and a healthy life?
So most important, some of the things that you already know, as well as social media, of course. I'm a big fan of Twitter and in LinkedIn more because you get very, very sensible audience there, more than just the TikTok kind of audience that you find in Instagram. I spend a lot of time on my personal and physical and mental health, not just physical health. I think mental health is equally important. So a lot of mindfulness practices, meditation practices, prayers, chanting, breathing exercises. I spend a lot of time with the family, with the kids. I spend a lot of time with younger, the youth, the students, because they keep me young always. They challenge me. I can be one day sitting in a temple doing prayers, wearing a dhoti and a typical Brahmin outfit, and next day night I could be chilling in a nightclub, dancing my night out as well. So I think that's how I keep myself.
That's quite fascinating, and I'm really intrigued by your passion for having a very, I would say, successful, not just successful, but also something which actually motivates you to be getting up every day and getting suited up and be ready to just rock the world. And that's what you have done for the many years that you have been in Schindler and also in the social media with your content, right? Ashok, we've come to the last segment of the talk show. What is your message for the world from the forum of Woxsen Leaders Studio?
I'm not a guru to give a message to the world, but I can just share some thoughts that anyone watching this video can take from themselves. The first is gratitude. Be thankful for everything that you have. Second thing is not comparing yourself with anyone else, not having FOMO of what anybody else is doing. So be happy, chase only you, not chase anyone else for success. And the third and the final thing is always aim for excellence. Don't settle for mediocrity, Whatever you're doing, do it right and do it so well that the whole world is inspired by you. That's it.
I think that's really a perfect ending for this talk show, because you made some really remarkable comments throughout the session, And at Woxsen, all the students were really happy, and they would look forward to your session. And just for the audience, it was a full house. So thank you so much, Ashok, for being a part of the Woxsen family for a day and coming over to Hyderabad for this business talk and, of course, the talk show as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, audience, we will be back with the third episode of Woxsen Leaders Studio with another leader sharing his journey with us, just like Ashok, from his great journey from being a general manager at Schindler to becoming the CEO and president at Schindler India now. He has led not just India but other countries, and has impacted a lot of people in the community. Well, thank you so much, and we'll be back again very soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.